The ballroom of the five-star hotel shimmered like a winter fairy tale. Crystal chandeliers reflected golden light onto polished marble floors, while elegantly dressed executives laughed softly over champagne flutes. This was the annual Christmas charity dinner, invite-only, prestigious, and powerful. When the CEO entered, conversations subtly paused. Amelia Hart was known across the city as a fearless business leader, sharp mind, unbreakable discipline, and a reputation for emotional distance. But tonight, something was different. By her side stood her 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Lily's small hand was tucked into her mother's, her eyes wide as she took in the sparkling decorations and towering Christmas tree. A delicate silver hearing aid curved behind her ear, barely noticeable, yet to Amelia, it felt like a spotlight. Lily was deaf since birth, and although Amelia never considered her daughter a weakness, she feared how the world might treat her. This dinner was supposed to be quick. Amelia had no babysitter, and Lily had begged to come. "I want to see Christmas lights, Mama," she had signed earlier that day, smiling hopefully. Amelia gave in, promising herself they'd stay only an hour. As they walked through the room, Lily noticed people talking, laughing, mouths moving without sound. She squeezed Amelia's hand slightly harder. Amelia felt it immediately. She bent down, signing gently, "You're safe. Stay close to me." Most guests smiled politely, but some glanced twice, confused, curious, even uncomfortable. A child didn't belong here, let alone one who couldn't hear the music playing softly in the background. Amelia straightened her shoulders, masking her anxiety behind practiced confidence. She didn't notice the man near the corner table yet, the single dad, watching not with judgment, but with understanding. Daniel Reyes wasn't supposed to be here. He had only attended because his boss insisted, calling it good for exposure. Daniel wore a borrowed suit, slightly tight at the shoulders, his tie knotted imperfectly. He felt out of place among CEOs and investors, especially as a widowed single father struggling to balance work and raising his 5-year-old son. He had planned to eat quietly, network minimally, and leave early. But the moment he saw Lily, everything else faded. Daniel noticed how she watched people's lips instead of their eyes. How she tilted her head when laughter erupted, confused but curious. How she flinched slightly when applause suddenly filled the room. Most people wouldn't notice those details. Daniel did, because his late wife had been deaf. For years, sign language had been the language of love in his home. He had learned it clumsily at first, then fluently, then instinctively. Even after his wife passed, Daniel still signed unconsciously when he thought or spoke emotionally. When Lily accidentally bumped into a chair, startled by sudden movement, Daniel stood without thinking. He crouched in front of her slowly, ensuring she could see his face clearly. With gentle hands, he signed. "Are you okay?" Lily's eyes widened. Someone here understood her. She nodded quickly, then smiled, the kind of smile that breaks walls. Daniel smiled back and signed again, "It's very bright here, isn't it?" Lily giggled silently and signed back, "Like a fairy castle." Amelia turned, stunned. She watched a stranger communicate with her daughter effortlessly, something even extended family struggled with. For the first time that evening, Amelia felt her guard slip. She had spent years building empires, but this moment, this simple human connection, unsettled her more than any boardroom challenge. The dinner progressed, but Lily's world had changed. Daniel didn't hover or intrude. He simply included her, showing her decorations, signing what the waiters were saying, explaining the purpose of the charity event in child-friendly gestures. When music played, he tapped gently on the table so Lily could feel the rhythm through vibrations. Her laughter, soundless yet full, drew attention. Amelia watched quietly, her heart tightening. She realized how rarely Lily experienced this kind of inclusion. Teachers tried. Therapists tried. Amelia tried. But this was natural. Effortless. Kindness without obligation. When Lily struggled to order dessert, Daniel signed to the waiter for her. When a guest asked Lily a question too quickly, Daniel gently slowed the pace, ensuring Lily could read lips. He never made a show of it. He didn't seek approval. At one point, Lily signed something that made Daniel pause. His expression softened. "What did she say?" Amelia asked quietly. Daniel hesitated, then replied honestly. "She asked if people usually ignore her because she's quiet." Amelia felt the words like a knife. Before she could respond, Daniel signed back to Lily. "No. Some people are just too loud to listen properly." Lily smiled and hugged him, unexpected, spontaneous. Amelia turned away briefly, blinking back tears. She had built her life on control, strength, and silence, but this man had shown her daughter that silence could still be heard. And in doing so, he had revealed something Amelia had long denied: success meant nothing if her child felt invisible. Later that evening, Amelia invited Daniel to sit with them. It wasn't a command, just a soft request. Daniel noticed the difference immediately. She wasn't the untouchable CEO anymore. She was simply a mother. They talked, slowly, honestly. Daniel shared his story. How he lost his wife. How sign language became his lifeline. How he struggled daily but refused to let grief harden him. Amelia listened more than she spoke, a rarity. "I thought bringing Lily tonight was a mistake," Amelia admitted. "I thought I was protecting her." Daniel shook his head gently. "You brought her because you love her. Protection isn't hiding, it's teaching the world how to meet her halfway." Those words stayed with Amelia. She looked at Lily, now signing animatedly about the Christmas tree. For the first time, Amelia didn't feel fear about Lily's future. She felt hope. And respect, for a man who had nothing to gain, yet gave everything. As the evening ended, Amelia made an unexpected announcement. She stepped onto the stage, not as CEO, but as a mother. She spoke about inclusion, about accessibility, about unseen voices. Then she gestured for Daniel and Lily to join her. Daniel hesitated. But Lily pulled his hand. Together, they stood beneath the lights. Amelia signed while she spoke, introducing sign language to a room full of powerful people who suddenly realized how little power they truly understood. The applause that followed wasn't loud, it was meaningful. Daniel had come unnoticed. He left unforgettable. Weeks later, Amelia launched a company-wide initiative for accessibility, starting with hiring Daniel as a consultant. But the real miracle wasn't professional. It was personal. On Christmas morning, Lily signed excitedly at the breakfast table. "Daniel is coming today." Amelia smiled, not guarded, not afraid. Sometimes, the greatest gifts don't come wrapped in gold. They arrive quietly, speaking a language the heart understands best.